beautiful people, it's your girl Wamaka, and we'll be introducing to you today our latest baby. It's called Real Estate Unfiltered, where we'll be bringing to you the hottest and latest gist within the real estate corridors in Nigeria. And with me to bring you this hot gist is my beautiful girls here.
Miriam Kubagidi, landlady of Lagos.
Come on now, you heard it. And
I'm Christina Robo, your Nigeria real estate doctor.
you heard it. And so if you have real estate headaches or back pain, you know exactly who you should be talking to.
Oh, yeah.
So today, without further ado, we would be dissecting a particular matter that has been on the within the media space for some time now, and this matter, it cuts across every one of us. It bothers around both investors in Nigeria and investors in diaspora, as well as the Nigerian government. And this matter is demolitions in Nigeria. But we are going to be putting in focus today demolitions in Lagos State, Nigeria. And so we want to talk about this matter. So my first question is, who do you girls think is responsible or not responsible, or who should be held
accountable?
Yes, who takes the most blame? Because when I'm saying blame, when I'm using the word blame and responsible, is the fact that we see a lot of people crying, a lot of people wailing on the internet, a lot of people, coming out to cry foul, right? So who is to blame for all this crying and wailing and, blame? Because everyone seems to be shifting blames, right?
Yeah.
So who should we hold? That's
Responsible.
okay. It is because of you people that all of these things is happening. Or is it that some people did not take responsibility of what they should have taken responsibility of? So let's hear from you first, Miriam.
Okay, thank you, Amaka. It's so saddening when you see stories like that on Instagram and all the media, because it's heartbreaking when you see that investors has lost their property and all of that. I would say for this, everyone needs to be blamed and everyone has a role to play, including investors, including the government, and including we intermediates, which is the real estate consultant. Yeah. Okay. For me, I had an encounter with one of my clients last year when Lagos State introduced this building approval. They gave an opportunity for those who have not approved their building that they should come, and they gave a time frame and they even gave a discount.
I remember.
So one of my clients, I went to his house. So I saw a mark, a red mark, because they marked some of those houses. That's okay. If you have this mark, shows that maybe you need to go to Lagos State to go and rectify something, or you need to perfect something. So that's the meaning of that mark. So I reached out to him because he's not in Nigeria. I stayed in diaspora, and I said, have you seen this? Are we aware of it? And I said, no, that it can't be affected. And I said, okay, what documents do you have? At least if I see your document, then I can be able to tell you that, okay, maybe there was a mix-up somewhere. So he sent me a provisional survey. And I'm like, no, sir. I said, what document do you have?
Hello, ma. Wait first. Before we go further. So we would like to understand why you were shocked, because you saw that I laughed.
I did too.
and Christine laughed as well, because it's funny that, a property, an investor, first of all, would bring out
a provisional survey.
And say that is or please continue. Maybe I cut you off too quickly. Probably. So please continue first of all.
Well, first of all, I wasn't expecting a provisional survey. Because
so you were shocked too?
Yes.
Okay, so now my question, why were you shocked?
Because a provisional survey is just a temporary survey that takes a size and estimates of the size of the land.
Yes.
So I wasn't expecting a provisional, so I was expecting a registered survey attached to the full document that he has on the property.
That's it.
Yeah, because
the provisional survey is useless.
It cannot.
It
be
cannot.
charted.
No. It cannot trace that land on any system of Lagos State. It can't. It can't be traced.
Wow. And okay.
And he has a few building on it that he imported everything in that house.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, ma. Just before you continue.
Okay.
So there were people who built this house for him.
Yeah.
There were people on this project. I believe that these are people who live in Nigeria. I believe that the building approval team were always coming to check from time to time as you construct a building. These guys always coming to check. I think that last part, right?
Last
They
part.
always come to check if you are, building in line
In accordance.
in accordance to the building approval that you've been given.
Yeah.
So all those times they were coming, what was happening?
Okay.
Okay, I will say from the roots,
Okay.
he has got it wrong. He got it wrong from the root because he bought the land through Omonile.
Okay.
And when it comes to buying land from Omonile, you just say, brother, something want to sell. And I know him. So he has not involved any professionals starting from the beginning. So you will not expect such a person to even understand that there's a due process to take when building in Lagos State. So I am surprised because they live in a well-developed country and they knows about professionals. They knows about how to get things done in a right way. But when they come to Nigeria, they want to cut costs and just feel like somebody can handle it. So I don't know why they rate down our own Nigerian professionals. I don't know why they rate it down. Because when you meet them, they'll tell you that, you guys don't just have a certificate for nothing. So he has got it wrong from the roots. So I believe he was not aware of all this process.
Okay.
So fast forward to,
Okay.
so I told him that no, this is not right. So I got a registered surveyor involved and I tried to say how I can rectify. So thank God he was able to listen and we took up on all the process. Another thing is that particular building was closer to canal. There was a canal closer to the building. But thank God, after charting the property, it's not affecting his own area. It's not affecting the entire area because he's not the only one that has. In fact, I could remember there was an hospital closer to his house too.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, even this hospital does not know that
He's not supposed to be
he's
in
not
a
supposed to be in a residential access.
Wow.
Okay.
So
these are some of the issues.
Yes, these are some of the. So for that person now, if I hadn't taken him through all those things and correct all those things for me, when his house gets demolished, he will now come back and say government, and cry. So majority of these diaspora, they don't really know that there's a system that works. There's an agency and policy when it comes to buying and building in Nigeria.
Yes,
definitely. Definitely.
What do you have to say about this, Christine?
Oh, thank you so much, Amaka. In addition to what Mira just said, I'll just add a little few points to it. The problem is there's always an estimation measurement when it comes to some places you shouldn't build to. And those estimation measurements are always called setback. Like what she said earlier, she talks about the drainage system. She talked about the canal. There's always a estimation measurement that you have to, before you build your structure. When you talk about the express road, you talk about the inner road, you talk about the NEPA pole, you talk about the water side, and all those, there's always an estimated measurement attached to it. But the problem is that I think because they don't involve professional to do the job. So they kind of like get misled. If you look at it, for instance, when you have a land, you bought a land, and the first thing you're supposed to do, you get a registered surveyor to do their finding. And when they do the finding, they'll be able to tell you what and what, if it's under government acquisition or not. But most of the time they get to buy this land from what Miriam just said, from Omonile, or my brother is selling land, my sister is selling land, a family member is selling land. At the same time, instead of them to get a registered surveyor to do this whole job, they'll tell you, my brother I work in Alausa, my sister I work in Alausa, they'll help me to
you're right about that.
At the end of the day, they cut corner. So they don't get to really find out what is it in that land. There are sometimes also you can have the register survey. You also still cross-check to know if it's the name that is written on the register survey that is registered in Alausa.
Yeah.
Because some of them miss all these things up.
Yeah.
And the second one, before you even go further, you get a credible realtor, like a real estate consultant.
Yeah.
That knows things, that know the information.
That will guide you.
And even if you don't know all this, she can help you, and she can help you out to find many of this information. Then when you listen to her, you will not get it wrong. Then again, for the documentation, you still need a credible property lawyer to help you oversee those documents so that you won't fall a victim of circumstances.
Yes.
Then again, you now decided that you want to build a house. That major thing you have to put in place is either you're buying a land to build, which I've said earlier on, you need a realtor, you need a registered surveyor, you need a property lawyer, and you need an engineer to do that when you want to build. Okay, let's not forget about that you don't want to build. You want to buy a ready-made house. These are the things you need to ask from your developer, an approved building plan. If a developer cannot provide you of such document, please take a walk. It's not safe to buy.
Yeah.
Remember, ignorance does not excuse demolition. You can just wake up one morning and you find out that your entire investment have gone down the drain.
If you don't take anything away today, ignorance does not excuse you from demolition.
Yeah.
I don't know. Say we not supposed to build for here.
You know, say
I don't know. Say this place supposed to be set
Other
back.
people don't build.
No,
Now
go.
this my small house, they will come demolish.
You see that one? Go.
Nine be the cocoa.
9 was fast.
9 was.
See all these big house.
Big houses where they say na my
This
small
one
house,
they'll
walk on
come
demolition.
demolish.
No, they fear God.
Ah.
That
A
one
lot of
no
people-
dey
yeah.
for here, oh.
A lot of
No
people have
dey
lost
for here,
property.
oh.
Yeah.
Because, and the reason why this conversation becomes very important is the fact that people begin to cry on social media. I mean, I've seen dozens of people come out to cry that, oh, the government was unfair.
Yeah.
They had no clue. They had no idea that this place was not supposed to, this place was supposed to be like for government projects, or if this was supposed to be like right of way, because these are some of the reasons why, the government will go ahead and demolish all of these things.
Okay.
Do you understand? And so it becomes very important that people should know what to do, the right questions to ask. Back to you, Miriam. So what do you think should be like top 4 most important questions that an investor, even if it's an investor in Nigeria or an investor in diaspora, what should be like the most important, 4 most important questions that any investor should be asking before they delve into any investment?
Okay. I would say for me, the first 4 important questions they should ask is number 1, location.
Okay.
Very, very important.
Yeah.
Then 2, documentation.
So when you say location, sorry, what do you want us to be asking?
Okay. But for location, I want them to ask about location on residential, commercial, industrial, and all of this is under location, because that's even when people think that they can build anyhow in Lagos,
even agriculture,
even when people think that location or they can build anyhow in Lagos, there are specific location for every project sectors that you can build. So
that an industrial project cannot be brought
into never.
An agricultural area.
No.
And that can lead to demolition.
Yes,
Definitely.
Wow.
So I think the first question you should ask an investor as a consultant is, what's the purpose of buying?
Yes.
Like, why are you buying this land or this house? Then if you tell you the purpose, then you can also help them with the right location.
Yeah.
Okay, if you are buying this land because of this is the right location for this. So we'll say location. Then 2, we'll say title documentation.
Yeah.
Because of all this we've been talking about, the roots of this demolition is still the title. By the time they have a good title to it, and they did a good
title and setback.
If they have a good title and setback to it, they can sue government too.
Definitely.
They can sue government. And if you have the right documents and government there's no how you have the right document and government want to demolish your property that you will not sue him.
Mm.
So I don't think anyone have even sued government for demolishing their property.
Yes.
So it shows that
They don't-
majority of them are not still getting it right.
Yes.
So we say location, we say title,
Title.
we say government proposed projects.
Mhm.
Very important.
Very.
You need to know if this area you are building tomorrow
Mm.
has a government proposed project that might affect your property.
In future.
Yes. And finally, ask for your ROI, return on investment, which is the reason why majority of investors come to Nigeria
To invest.
So this is key. You need to know what you'll be getting every quarter, every 6 months, every year. So
Even in 5 years, you can
four
project
important
it.
questions you should ask is the location,
The title.
the location, then the title, then the proposed government project, then lastly your return on investment.
Okay, those are like the 4
Major.
most important questions that an investor
Should ask.
should be asking.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is getting very interesting.
Okay.
So there was an event that happened, and some people, even though they had done proper investigation on their property, I mean, this is a story that's known to most of us. I mean, along the Monastery Road area.
The coastal road.
Yes, along the coastal road.
Okay.
So there were people who had done proper investigation on property documentation,
Yeah.
and they went ahead to make their investment after they had done intensive investigation, and the property was good to go. Right now, it was time to kick off the coastal road project. Right, and then the government made some analysis and found that the people who had built illegally around the coastal area were much. There were plenty. So what they did was now to divert the coastal road, right? So what will you see? And then the diversion now affected the people that had legal rights to own their property. Do you understand? So the coastal road is now passing through people that are legal owners. So now what are you trying to tell me? So those people now, would they sue governments to court?
Oh.
Or
Okay.
So Christine, let's hear from you first.
Okay, I want to ask you, thank you so much, Amaka. And I want to redirect that question back to you. Okay, now let's talk about, you just said something right now that the illegal people were pardoned because they were much.
Yes.
And because of the situation of the economy of Nigeria,
well, I believe that's one of the reasons.
Okay, the government pardoned them.
Yes.
And went to take part of those legal people that have done their findings.
They diverted the road.
They diverted the road to the legal people that have done their findings.
Because they were not that much.
They are not that much. Okay. Now, I want to ask you this question. Imagine if your father owns a property close to those offenders and the government want to demolish it. What will your answer be?
They should demolish my father's house. Yes.
Are you sure?
As a Nigerian, set your mind very well.
They should demolish my father's house because my father should have done his investigation properly. Because I know that you people are looking at me that this girl, are you sure you're telling me the truth?
Are you sure you're telling us the truth? That's it.
Because as a proper
I see the way Miriam is looking at me.
Yeah.
I see the way Chrissy is looking at me. They should demolish my father's land.
Okay.
You know why? Because if we do not start, if this charity that we're talking about, you know, there's a saying that
charity begins at home.
Yes, yeah,
if we don't start this overhaul, if we don't start this new Nigeria that we're looking for, if it does not start from our home, it will not transcend into the external community.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not happy that they are going to demolish my father's land or my father's property, right? But what has to be done
should be done.
Because why are you encouraging people to go ahead and do investigation, due diligence? Every day we're singing about it. So people who do due diligence now, you're coming to tell them that now who you be, oh.
No. You remember they compensate them.
The thing is this. The thing about this whole thing is, do you know that if they have demolished just offender, these same people would have run to social media and start shouting. And you know how this media works. They work on emotion. They won't ask the right question.
Yeah,
They
you're
won't-
right.
Yes, they
Christine.
won't ask the
You're
right.
right.
Now you're saying that they can demolish your father's house, but thousands of them would have rushed over there and started shouting, screaming, and nobody would ever come out and said, "Let me even see your documentation. Did you do the right thing? Did you do your finding?" And when this thing happened, now government now took the initiative and said, "Okay, let's leave the offender because of the situation." You get it? I'm going to come back
So
to you.
I'm sure there will be a condition too for them leaving the offenders.
Yes, they did, because it was much, and they consider
And
the fact that the economy is too tight,
Mhm.
and they don't want that kind of attention. Now they want to do a Lagos Calabar coastal road. So by the time they demolish and decide to take the offender out, they don't want that commotion at that moment. So they decide to go to the people that are legally that owns, they bypass the project to these people, but with a compensation. They spoke to them, they called them, they had a meeting, they sat them
They
down.
gave them reasons.
They gave them reason. And those people find the reason interesting. And they said, okay, not that they really took everything actually. They just took some of it.
Of course,
And
I
they,
understand.
yeah, and they told them we'll compensate you. And those people agreed.
But Amaka,
Christine,
remember that
Christine,
if they have not had a good documentation, there's no way government will call them
They won't
and
compensate.
dialogue with them and compensate
Definitely.
them.
I
So
understand.
still having your due diligence, still
Miriam.
having your
No,
documents
finding is very
important.
key.
It's key.
It's key.
Miriam.
But I want
Miriam
to prove
and
to Amaka
Miriam
right
and
now.
Christine.
Amaka.
Oh, wait.
Amaka.
Before you people sandwich me inside
It's
this place, I'm
emotions.
here.
I know.
Do you understand what I'm saying? I want to tell you guys something.
Okay.
Do you also bring to remembrance that the government does not just move and go to start demolishing people's houses?
Definitely now.
They must have given these people time
Yes,
and notice. No demolition happens without a proper
Notice.
time frame
Yeah.
and notice, prime
Yeah.
notice.
Prime
Do
notice.
you understand what I'm saying? Okay.
There's something that happened recently. A client of mine in the diaspora sent me a video. Although I've seen the video on Easterblog, then a client of mine sent me the video and said, see, Lagos State, because a woman came up, I'm not going to mention her name. I think a lot of people will have an idea of the woman I'm talking about. And the woman was shouting that they came to demolish our houses and that. So the client now sent the link to me. I clicked on the link. I went on Instagram. I saw the video whereby the landlord and the owner was now saying they gave her 1 hour notice. So I had to now tell the client that. But when I was listening to that voice note, I saw that that voice note has been heavily edited.
Okay.
So I told my client, I told him that no, it can't be. Government, they will give you overtime notice.
No.
It will even take
That's
stretch
not
of 3 years. They'll be giving you that notice. They'll be informing you. They are coming so that you can have a time whereby.
Ample time.
Yes, yes.
Prepare yourself.
So prepare yourself. And if you have a good title, you cannot do negotiation with them.
Of course.
So they can't just notify you for 1 hour and come to demolition. That is a big lie. And a lot of Nigerians on social media actually believe in it. They're believing it because they're not getting the proper information. No way government will give you 1 hour notice.
There's no way.
That is the truth.
Miriam,
Yeah.
you know that after the last demolition at Oral Extension, I actually paid the environment to visit.
Okay.
You know, I think whilst in fact the demolitions were
happening.
ongoing, I actually did pay the environment a visit, you know, and I found that actually there were some demolitions that had happened in the area. You know, and then I thought to, okay, like just interview some of the residents to just know their thoughts and just find out how has this whole process been going. And okay, I found something very interesting. The person I saw, I said, oh, I mean, I'm seeing that the fences are down, but the houses are still standing. What's going on? Are they coming back to demolish the houses or what's going on? I say, oh, no, madam, they're not coming back again, no. We don't follow them talk. This was the exact.
Yeah, this reminded me of a story like that. I think I shared it with Christine.
Yes.
No, it's not even in Megamond. It's around Chongotedo.
Yes.
That response, how did you feel about this response? I don't want to be preemptive, but just tell me what you feel about this response. But is this how we are going to continue? That every time that the law wants to take its course, people will always come
buy their way.
They
always buy their way out.
To try to, look for something, one thing or the other, like to just, because if we want that change that we're looking for in Nigeria, that works, we have to all be accountable. That's the way I see it.
So that's where bring me back to saying that we all should be held
Let's start rounding up,
responsible.
guys.
You see, the government, we, the developer, we, the realtor, we, the investors, we are supposed to be held accountable. Because we're in a system whereby we feel that nothing is working. And if you look at it, what's really working? You can buy your way through. Imagine you can go to Lausa there and just say, I beg, I don't pay money.
As you can buy your way through at expense of other people's pain.
And you know what is funny? Now, see the developer now, they'll go meet Omonile and buy property. And when they finish buying the property, why won't you do your research before you buy the property? You buy the property, probably you've paid millions to Omonile before you go check it out at Alausa. Then when you now get there, you now find out there's an issue on the land. It's a you to stop as a good citizen. You continue the project because you felt inside of yourself that you're going to sell. You sell many of these developers, where are they? That they build on top of canal. They have collected their money. They have run away. They have relocated. And who is there? Now look at it. Who is not there to take the suffer?
Exactly. I know that we're running out of time.
Yeah,
but
we are.
Also, like Christine pointed out, a lot of the blame also goes to the developers, you guys.
They're coming back.
You guys. But we're going to have a part 2 of this conversation. This conversation is really
broad,
long and
very
it
broad.
is very extensive.
Yeah.
But thank you for joining us today, and we hope that you can join the conversation in the comment section. Tell us about your experience. Tell us what what you have encountered or what you are currently encountering as far as this demolition story is concerned.
And tell us if you have any way you want us to help you.
Yes,
then we'll definitely
we will be in the DMs to continue this conversation. We would like to hear your views on this matter. Please make everybody chook mouth for this matter. Thank you. My name is Nwamaka again, and with me are my 2 beautiful colleagues,
Miriam
and
Christina Robo.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
See
Until we see you next time.
time.
Bye-bye.